The two renowned Hellenic city-states, Athens and Sparta, were not merely geographical neighbors but two entirely distinct worlds, each possessing its unique historical trajectory and philosophy of life. A close examination of their societal structures reveals stark contrasts that profoundly influenced the course of ancient history. Consider their geographical location and its impact on military might. Athens, situated by the sea, was destined to become a formidable naval power. Its maritime forces, represented by an impressive fleet, traversed the seas, ensuring naval supremacy and opening new horizons for trade and the expansion of influence. Sparta, conversely, located deep inland, was compelled to rely on a different kind of strength. Its military might lay in its legendary land army, whose phalanxes instilled fear in the hearts of enemies, asserting its dominance on land. Each of these city-states was under the patronage of a specific deity, further accentuating their profound differences. Athens' patron was the wise and warlike Athena Pallas, a goddess whose name became synonymous with strategic thinking and cultural flourishing. Sparta, on the other hand, was under the watchful eye of Ares, the stern god of war, whose presence reflected its rigid and uncompromising military doctrine. The range of occupations in these cities also spoke volumes. Athens was a hub of intellectual and creative life. It thrived with talented artisans, inspired poets, and profound philosophers whose ideas profoundly shaped Western civilization. Sparta, by contrast, was a society where virtually every citizen was, first and foremost, a warrior. Artisans certainly existed, but their labor was entirely subservient to the needs of the army and the maintenance of its austere military order. Athens' economic model was inextricably linked to its coastal position. The city prospered through vibrant trade, becoming one of the Mediterranean's key commercial centers. At the heart of Athens was the bustling agora, not just a marketplace, but a pulsating hub of civic life where deals were struck and ideas exchanged. For convenience, Athenians used standardized and practical coins for transactions. The economic strategies of Athens and Sparta mirrored their geographical location and cultural priorities. Athens, with its developed maritime infrastructure, actively engaged in trade and accumulated considerable wealth through its commercial operations. Sparta, conversely, due to its inland position, focused on agriculture and expansion, drawing resources from conquered territories. Interestingly, the Spartans used cumbersome iron ingots as currency, a deliberate measure to discourage accumulation and luxury. The political systems of these two city-states were diametrically opposed. Athens was renowned for its democracy, where citizens had the right to vote and directly participated in lawmaking, creating a unique example of self-governance. Sparta, however, was an oligarchy. Power resided in the hands of a select few, known as the Council of Elders, which ensured a strict hierarchy and a conservative style of governance. The position of women in these two city-states was also markedly different. In Athens, women possessed very limited rights, their participation in political life was excluded, and their role was primarily confined to managing the household and raising children, remaining largely in the shadow of public life. In Sparta, by contrast, Spartan women enjoyed much greater freedom. They had the right to own land, engage in certain activities, and were expected to possess physical strength and endurance to defend their homeland if necessary. The conditions for slaves in Athens were generally milder than in Sparta. Some were even given the opportunity to learn various crafts. In Sparta, while slaves did possess some, albeit limited, rights, they were largely subjected to harsh treatment, which was attributed to their status as prisoners of war captured during conflicts. The Athenian education system was primarily aimed at fostering virtuous and responsible citizens. Education was available exclusively to boys, and only upon reaching the age of 18 did they begin military training. In Sparta, military training commenced at the tender age of 7. The Spartan education system encompassed both boys and girls, striving to instill in them an unwavering spirit, physical endurance, and courage, shaping them into exemplary warriors. Ancient Hellas, the cradle of Western civilization, was the arena for the confrontation between two of its most prominent city-states, Athens and Sparta, whose paths of development diverged radically, predetermining their unique place in history. Athens, located in fertile Attica, was celebrated for its democratic system, the flourishing of arts and philosophy, and its active trade that connected it with various corners of the Mediterranean. Sparta, nestled in the mountains of Laconia, represented a militarized state where all aspects of citizens' lives were subjugated to the interests of the army, and an oligarchic system of government held an iron grip on all spheres of life. Religious beliefs, economic models, social customs, a chasm existed between these city-states in every respect. Athens, with its love for knowledge and freedom, contrasted with Sparta, where discipline, strength, and martial prowess were valued above all else. Even the geographical location of the city-states left its mark on their character. The fertile lands of Attica fostered the development of agriculture and crafts, while Laconia's harsh landscape hardened the Spartans, turning them into fearless warriors. These fundamental differences, which permeated every aspect of their existence, from geography and religious beliefs to economics and social organization, had a decisive influence not only on their internal development but also on their interrelationships on the ancient Greek political stage, forever etching their names into historical chronicles. Ultimately, Athens emerges as a relatively peaceable city-state, where trade flourished and the foundations of democracy were laid. Sparta, conversely, embodied a militarized society whose primary goal was conquest and subjugation, governed by an oligarchic power and relying on a formidable and unwavering army.